Good morning, darlings, lovelies and chums. It's Pride Day in London, and I'm not entirely sure whether these guys are here for Pride or whether this is the real thing, people. What do we think? Is it the real thing? Which country are you from, guys? Oh, US. Ah, wow. Okay, US Navy, guys. Look at this. They didn't want to talk, but then again, that might explain why they've got the, I don't know, it looks like some sort of military security guy at the front. That said, they don't know me, and I think US military would be super suspicious anywhere. Okay, so they're not a bunch of guys dressed up as sailors for Pride Day, everybody. Probably just as well. I was very tempted to ask them if they were, as my opening comment, if they're in London for Pride. But the security guy probably would have failed me with one slap. I'm moving further back, folks, to try and get this giant clock, yes, I did say clock, in the frame. I'm not sure how far back I'm going to need to go. I mean, it's a lovely, bright day. I was going to do the video in part like this, with this sort of tone today, but alas, the sailors spoilt it, which is very unfortunate. Goodness me. I mean, I'm not sure how much further I need to walk back. I'm going to be in the Surrey countryside shortly, folks. Okay, I mean, I think that's far enough, pretty much. Yes, it is. I wonder why the US Navy, assuming that is the US Navy, I mean, it looks like the US Navy, are in London on such a lovely morning as this. I mean, it's kind of perfect. You know what? Oh, that's it. Just about squeezed it all in. So ironic, actually, I had the same problem last night. There we are. Look at that. Perfect, folks. The perfect shot. More importantly, look at this. The reason it's so calm and there are relatively few people around is that it's really nice and early, folks. I got up super early just to share this lovely morning with all of you around the world. Why? Well, I mean, yes, I'm a kind-hearted fellow, but more importantly, this is going to be the last super sunny day, guys, like this, in a while. It's kind of appropriate, to be honest, that it's Pride Day today in London. Yeah. The other good thing is that, as you can see from the clock, it is exactly 20 to 10. What does that mean? Aha! It means this is the earliest we've been out in a good while. We will see the first horses, King's Troop Royal Horse Artillery horses, coming out of the stables if I get there on time. Ah, we just missed the ferry, look at that. I actually like it when the ferry appears right under me, under the bridge. But that is a beautiful sight, isn't it, of a morning. I must go back on the ferry soon, folks, and give you the ferry tour view from the river. It's also pretty interesting. Right, spot a gap in the traffic, so over we go. It's not quiet in London today, it's very busy, but as mentioned, it's crazy early. So all of these lucky punters out and about in the 23, 24 degree heat we've got at the moment made the right choice. No filth, no dirt, no scammers on the bridge. It's the perfect time for it, especially for visiting with your family. Get here before the clowns turn up. I saw this photographer a little bit earlier. She was struggling in the breeze with these two balloons. She seemed to have solved it by putting two helium balloons. Notice that one, she stuffed it between her legs, and the other one looks like a sausage. I'm not sure if that's a number 6 or a number 9, and I've got no idea what the photo shoot is for. But earlier on, they almost got run over by cyclists. Here we are, look. Oh, goodness me. I think it's your typical, it's just somebody, a random Instagrammer, influencer, whatever you want to call it, hired a photographer to take some pictures with a couple of balloons on the bridge. Ask them, guys, what it's for. Ladies, what is it for? Is it for some sort of promo with the balloons?
Sorry?
What is it for? What are you doing?
Oh, it's just my birthday, so I want to make pictures with the numbers.
Wait, what are the numbers? Is it 6 or a 9?
Yeah, 6 and 2, 26.
There's no way you're 62 today. No way. You don't look that old. Enjoy. Okay, so she's 26, not 62. That explains it. 6 and 2. Okay, so that's an interesting thing. I mean, I know that's kind of a Slavic thing. Russians Poles, Baltic state folks, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, they'd like to do that on there, but it's kind of cute that they still do it when they come abroad, when they move abroad and come and live in a place like London, to be honest. You can see the crowds are starting to build up a little bit. Yeah, it's a big thing there actually, having like how to say it, making yourself pretty, getting all dressed up, nice makeup, outfit, and going to a photographer. It's a big thing. I remember when I lived in Russia, you see that all the time, all over the place. Oh, hold on a second, we've got more Army Forces charity. Army Forces charity on the bridge today. Oh, where are all the police going, I wonder? Gosh. I've got a feeling, folks, it's going to be a very busy day. Like a very busy day in London today. Part of the reason I got out early, to be honest with all of you, is the fact that there are a lot of road closures today. I noticed it when I was out last night, they'd already closed Piccadilly, all the way down through Haymarket, Trafalgar Square, etc. Massive areas closed off, ready for Pride. It's not just a single march, as it were, there are multiple stages and events. Effectively, the whole of the central area of the city gets closed down, and very wily, smart shopkeepers have already stocked lots and lots of Pride flags and other things. Actually, you know what? Last year, I actually remembered to wear a Pride scarf, and I was told to do that by a friend of mine who said, you know what? If you want to be completely accepted and allowed to film anyone doing whatever they want, in other words, even the wild stuff, just wear a Pride cap, flag, scarf, anything, and they'll leave you alone. It was a good point, and it worked, and I was left alone. However, I still haven't decided whether I'm going to go back out this afternoon. It's going to be a very hot one, actually. I don't envy a lot of these folks that are going to be out and about for the Pride March. Beautifully breezy, actually. It's a lovely day, as you can see, folks. And London is reasonably happy. What? Hold on a second, where the hell is this guy going? The lights are red, bro. Is he completely mad or what? This is why you need to be careful. Or maybe they were green and all of the tourists were ignoring them. Never mind. Okay, so onwards and upwards, folks. Speaking of upwards, I've never given you this view. Look, never shown you rather this view. Look, isn't that lovely? Yes. Okay, let's let the camera slowly settle into FPV mode, and on we go. I've got a feeling that the beloved phone boxes are going to be chocker. Try to concentrate on what I'm saying. Got a few corrections to make when we get to horseguards as well. Massive thanks, especially to you tour-ships, but everyone else that made comments on yesterday's video vis-a-vis the technical details of the King's Troop. Also, thank you for pointing out that it's not a regiment, as I had mentioned and suspected, and in fact honestly believed. It's a unit, which was yeah, a new one to me. I didn't know that. It's not large enough to make up an entire regiment, so it's actually a unit, which was yeah, news to me, but it's good to know. And I made a point of noting down the ranks, so hopefully once we get past the gunners, so the lance bombardiers, the bombardiers, sergeants, etc, etc. Gosh, it's complicated, this military stuff, it really is. I mean, there is a kind of dirty side of London, folks, but that will be gone, I'm sure, pretty shortly, pretty soon. Oh, in fact, as I mentioned it, it's the pub chucking out all of their rubbish from last night, whilst the clock is bonging. There's that guy with the plastic bottles. Plastic is out of control, it says. Look, 100% polyester, 100% landfill. I'm not sure if you can see him there, look. Monsieur Le Bagpipe, sorry, is nearby. Somebody's wheeling their pushchair into my shins. Best part of living in central London. It's nice to actually not be in a particular rush this morning, to be able to stroll a little bit, but I will keep an eye on the time. We've got 14 minutes, which is plenty of time. We should be through the main gates a good few minutes before the first horses come out. So the King's Troop first day yesterday was something of a joy, I must say. Not particularly dramatic in the sense of anything majorly going wrong, but thank you all to everybody that pointed out the section that I had not seen. I love it when that happens, with the trooper booting away the Chinese tourist. Goodness me. I really do like it when there are sort of, you know, classic little moments like that, which, yeah, I mean, I would not have known. Gosh, would you believe it, folks? The phone box doesn't have a single person currently posing in front of it or with it, and there's no queue. That's the first time we've ever... Oh, wait, it didn't last long. Here we go. Here's the first punters have arrived. Yeah, it never lasts long. It really is quite a lovely morning, though, I must say. Looking across to House of Parliament, Palace of Westminster, and just beyond the trees, obscured by the trees, is of course Westminster Abbey. Beautiful day, actually, really. I thought actually that they would have barried off this entire area, but then again, remembering the route, it ends, I believe, from my readings, on Whitehall Place. So here we are, and for some reason these tourists have not realised that the best box is actually at the other end. Somebody's posing with her teddy. Look, somebody's got their teddy in front of the phone box, which is kind of cute, I guess. Ah, wait, I'm not sure if the microphone picked up. She just said my mum was here in this exact phone box 20 years ago. Okay, so I guess it becomes something of a family tradition. Rather like posing with the King's Guard. So this may be the sweet spot, folks, before 10 AM. That said, it is the weekend, so I dare say a lot of people can't be bothered to get up early. A lot of younger tourists in London would obviously, well, one would assume, obviously, would likely, probably, have decided to be out on the town last night. Hence, probably getting up late today. Gosh, there's a woolen cardigan on. In this heat, it's way, 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 way too hot for that. Like boiling, actually, to be honest. But hey, some people are a little bit more resistant to the heat than others. It's interesting. The number plate on this pickup truck is Elon. Elon M. E7 ON. Oh, it's a W. Elon W. Okay, before we turn to Whitehall, guys, that's the last little peek over Parliament Square, looking thoroughly magnificent. I mean, it always does, but especially in this light. People emerging from the tube, underground, a lot of you will call it subway. And it's funny because the actual underpass is called a subway. We call it public subway here. We just call the actual station itself underground. We don't call it a metro or even a subway. Okay, I guess some events are starting because there's a helicopter, news helicopter, directly above me. Which is curious because as far as I know, the actual main march itself doesn't begin till 12 noon at Hyde Park Corner. I think that helicopter is probably something like Sky News Live, just covering, you know, prep for Pride. It's a very, 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 very big event in London. It really is. I'm trying to think of another event that closes down the centre quite so thoroughly. I don't think there is one. St Patrick's Day is probably the second, to be honest. Yeah, it's very unusual to have all of Piccadilly down to where I am now, effectively, closed. The horses will be taken off later, hopefully long after I've already left. Part of the reason it's good to get out early: 1, avoid the heat; 2, avoid the crowds; 3, avoid the traffic problems that will definitely hit later; and 4, hopefully, folks, we'll get some quality horsey time before the horses are removed. My guess would be they'll be removed before 1 PM. And And that was confirmed yesterday that they will be taken off. It's super pleasurable strolling around this part of London in particular when the light is like this. I mean, isn't it just absolutely beautiful, folks? The whole thing is hard to take in, actually, even when you see it very regularly, as I do. Sometimes when the light is right, and this is one of those mornings, it makes it all look so clean and lovely, almost like Switzerland. That sort of cleanliness, that purity. But sadly, it's only from here through the Royal District to the Palace that looks this good. Even the rich parts of London, Kensington, Chelsea, Knightsbridge, Belgravia, Mayfair, whatever, nowhere near as lovely as this. Yeah, they have their cute moments and they're very Instagrammable, but they also have plenty of really dirty, dark little corners that are not particularly enjoyable. Plus, this area, actually, thinking about it, is by far the most safest part of the whole of London, with good reason. I mean, you've got model police forces, you've got military personnel, and you've got more cameras than you can bat an eyelid at. Downing Street. Police having fun. Oh, hold on, I think that's a removal truck up there loading Mr. Snook's furniture. Maybe he'll quit and save us all the bother of voting. I was hoping that the post horse guards bit would be roughly 20 minutes. You know what? It's going to be very, very, very close. We're at 17 minutes now on the video. Extraordinary. That was quite well timed this morning, but only because there were not the crowds that we usually get when we begin there. So I think we might arrive just a few minutes before 10. It would not surprise me at all if I'm not the first person here today, actually. I hope I will be, but we'll find out shortly. Once we get into the yard, I'll read the notes out that I made yesterday vis-a-vis minor corrections in terms of the military terminology. That way I can then look back to this video myself if I need to at some point later. I am a sucker for detail, but it's very hard to remember so much continuously. Oh, look at this. The Pride paramedic squad. How lovely. And very well presented. Oh, in fact, Whitehall at one end looks almost barriered off. Very curious. They've just blown up the finishing line. Finish for what? I guess the finishing point of the march. Look, it says finish on the side. Now I think actually that the finishing point, they're just holding open the gates at the front of Horse Guards, by the way. The finishing point is there, Whitehall, sorry, not this one, the next one, Whitehall Place. That's Horse Guards Avenue. Yeah, it's the next one. Wow, we got hit on just at the moment the police opened the gates and came out. Extraordinary. I wonder how all the tourists are standing here. Maybe they're not allowed in, we're not allowed in the yard. I'm not sure actually, let me ask. If we're allowed in, if it's closed. Is it okay to go in, guys, or is it closed?
No, it's closed today, mate.
Oh, it's closed the whole day?
I don't know.
Ah, Pride. Pride, I think.
Stuff on the Pride square, taking those stuff down as well, so.
Ah.
So put the horse in that 10 to 1 and that's it.
Okay, great.
Got to be out of it.
So just the horses there, no... Bad luck for you guys, there's no shade at the front. Little bit, yeah? You got, look at you compared to me. Yeah, it's true. Oh, it said, the officer said, I've got the tan, cheeky scoundrel. He said, I've got the tan. My arms are tanned because I work for a living. What a scoundrel! Wow. I mean, it's a fair point. I didn't really have a comeback for that. Okay, so horses,
Yeah,
yes.
So the other side of the gate, which is shut,
But
please, from this kindly
no
that you can go to the household cavalry
troopers.
museum, meet the guard.
Now the museum is open for anyone that's tempted to visit it. The museum is open. However, you need to go all the way around.
There we go. The sign says, "Beware, horses may kick or bite." Thank you.
Okay, let's enjoy this this tour guide explaining things to us. Free
Last week I saw it.
tour. Actually, the officer everyone's to get behind the bollards. I should probably take heed. Damn, now we can't listen to the tour guide. Okay, I mean they haven't actually closed it because of Pride. I thought immediately that would have been the reason. They're actually disassembling a lot of the stands at the back. The beating the retreat ceremonies that are happening next month, in fact roughly 3 weeks from now, give or take, are quite smaller, more intimate affairs. Thinking back to last year, the Trooping the Colour. Trooping the Colour has a couple of thousand spectators. Beating the retreat, I don't remember the numbers, but certainly less, maybe 50% less in total, a lot less either way. And that I think is a good thing, because given the fact that you have fireworks and so on, and a lot of wonderful music, it's nice that it's a more intimate affair. I personally massively preferred it, Beating the Retreat, to Trooping the Colour. Okay, so not that worried about people being behind the bollards at the moment, because this couple are not behind, so they can stroll up and down. The troopers, gunners, are enjoying the sunshine. She looks getting a tan on the corner there in her camos. Very much interested to see actually which horses will come out. Will we see the same horses we saw yesterday, or will we get different horses? So nice and peaceful here at this time of the morning. I've only got a few minutes, give or take, roughly. A second, folks, and I would check on my little clock. Strange they haven't removed the Japanese flag yet. It's actually 1.5 minutes, so we timed it pretty much spot on. Which is good. Great to see this many people actually already lined up here, hoping to catch an eye of the horses. I've spotted a potentially ideal space to stand. So if I can get in there before anyone else realises that there is a small open spot, very small, but hey, better than nothing. Let's wait for the first horses to come out. There we go. Definitely suntan lotion weather, folks, I can tell you that. Given that the yard is closed, it wouldn't surprise me at all if we get somebody jogging through the box. Let's see. Oh, bing bong. Here they come. Can't see which two gunners, a little bit too far away. Also, that magnificent blaze is the one that was here yesterday. I've just realised, damn it, I've got the hot box. This end is sun trap.
touch the reins, mate. Look here. Right. Look at me.
I was hoping you were going to tell her to touch the reins.
Spice it up a bit. Give you a few more views. How much you give me if I go yank?
Oh, I wouldn't do that. To be honest, it's very rare here. Last year it happened all the time, but since they changed the sign and added that line at the bottom, it's rare. Which is a good thing because the horses should be left alone, shouldn't they, fundamentally? They're going to get bothered a lot today, for sure, because they're not letting people inside today. So we're going to be stuck at the front in this heat. It's, one second. Those from Oz? Yeah? I was reluctant to ask because every time I do, it's like, what are you talking about? It's in New Zealand, and vice versa, every time. Yep. You will you'll be on today's video, by the way. It's this one. It actually wants to load. There we are. Yep. You were the first lucky tourist to touch the King's horse this morning. Now the chaos begins. I mean, just look at it. Completely out of control now for the next 6 hours.
It's going to be a big day with the gate parade and everything.
It's going to be a huge day. Yeah, all of this will be closed later. The horses will only be here until, actually they'll be here until 1, so only 3 hours. But yeah, the whole of central London from here all to Quail or Piccadilly to Hyde Park Corner shut. It's a big deal. Pride's a big deal in London. Yeah, a huge deal. First time here, guys? You've been here before? Oh wow. What do you think? Did it exceed expectations? Or?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Hey, babe.
Especially this street, in the architecture. Different world. Massively.
Really makes you want to come back and explore a bit around.
Worth it 20 hours on the plane.
Right, yeah.
Glad to hear it. It's a good day actually to avoid the centre, to be honest, unless you're particularly interested in the march, because it completely takes over everything. It's chaos here. Notting Hill much more chill. Great weather for it as well. Especially those coloured houses. I know, I mean this is like, hold on a second, this is an Aussie winter day. I guess you get used to it though. I mean if I lived in 35, 40 all the time, it would be normal, but me, 30, that's it, I'm like dead. I'm in a dark room.
It's winter back home.
What sort of temperatures now locally for you guys at home? Oh, actually that cool. Wow.
It does get below 0.
Is that the point at which the spiders and all the other dangerous things don't come into the house, or?
Yeah, they're actually.
Our daughter picks huntsmen's up, they're big spiders, but you just go and pick them up and take them outside. They're harmless.
Are they? But is that not the one that if it does bite you, it's going to be fatal?
No, that's the funnel web and red back.
Funnel web and red back. Yikes. Okay, so I guess you kind of grew up knowing which ones are dangerous and which ones not to touch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you Aussies are definitely a lot tougher than us Brits, I can tell you that without a doubt. We've got no dangerous animals here at all.
Is that why you get the grass pretty around buildings and monuments and things?
I mean, I think the reason it's long, I mean, it's not because there are not dangerous animals hiding it, it's because of cuts, budgetary cuts, austerity, they just sort of probably didn't get around to cutting the thing as they used to. There's nothing that I know of native that can kill you in the long grass of London. Yeah. So you're pretty safe, guys, simply.
Yeah, long grass, you will hear them anyway. You have to be a real thrill seeker.
In fact, it's true. But then again, a lot of you guys go and swim in the ocean, and you've got a lot more things there that can kill you, haven't you?
Sharks, blue whales.
Beaches and you'll see, crocodiles. It's still going.
It's madness, isn't it?
Signs say
Absolutely.
danger, crocodiles inhabit these waters, don't swim.
And that's when they stop and park the car
and
and run to the water. Surfers. Good lord, amazing, really.
Anyway, have a good day, mate.
Thank you, guys. Glad you enjoyed it. See you. So, folks, you know I've got a soft spot for Aussies. They are the loveliest, friendliest people. Honestly, we meet some amazing people. It's been a week of amazing people, actually. Thinking back to Maria, Irina, 2 Aussies there, first time in London. Said they loved it. I mean, what's not to love, especially on a day like today? I'm not sure if we caught anyone being naughty or anything funny happening with the horse. I was concentrating on the conversation whilst leaving the camera focused on horsing. I will go to the other end, but this horse, I remember yesterday, is a little teeny bit playful and curious. The other one I'm not sure yet. This gunner's really eyeballing everybody that goes up as well. She's really on it. I think it's her first time in the box. I think it is. Oh. It's arguing about who's in the way of the pictures. Look at the camera. Okay, patient bro got his turn. And he said thanks. I'm in the middle of a video. Sorry guys, I'm making a video. All good? Yeah, we've only got the front today. No yard at all the whole day.
I'm only here for 1 hour.
Yeah, to be honest, it's going to be too hot anyway, isn't it, after that? Ta-da! Rolling up again.
These horses, they don't bite or anything.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, this one's a little bit curious, a bit of a nibbler. I'm more interested to see if somebody does grab the reins or is disrespectful, how hard the response is going to be. Because last year, these ladies were super on it. So I don't know what it's going to be like this year. If this guy sticks his long selfie stick in the horse's nose, we don't know what's going to happen. And curious enough...
Are they going to be open all day?
Hmm?
Are they going to be open all day?
The horses will probably be here until 12:31, I think, because the Pride March is finishing here, so it's going to be too noisy anyway. Yeah, they just see the finishing things they're putting up behind you, just up there on the corners. There's a finishing point. So I'm going to go home, put on my pink shorts, little feather hat, and and I'm going to join the parade. Ta-da! Okay, who's up next, folks? Yep. Pink budgie smugglers. Bought them yesterday. Police are in a very good mood today, and I can't say I blame them because they've got a very easy day ahead of them comparatively. Ta-da! Now, the fact that they've closed the road, not entirely, but there is no ordinary traffic. Notice they put this massive barriering system in place right outside horseguards. They would have dropped these off in the middle of the night with a huge crane. They're still allowing taxis and so on to traverse Whitehall, but that's it, not allowing the usual traffic. So it's going to be a lot quieter in terms of the flow of people coming through. So we just have to enjoy it while we can, folks. Now I think, hold on a second, in fact, this is a different horse to the one we saw yesterday. And this gunner actually is also different. She was not on yesterday, this lady gunner. This horse doesn't look terribly happy actually. It is a... oh. Second I start talking, ears pop forward. Nosy little horse wants to listen into our conversation. Horse is a beauty actually. It's a real shame that we don't know the temperaments or the names of any of the King Street horses. It is a real shame. However, as they're only here for 2 weeks, I'm not as disappointed as I would have been if we'd missed an entire month's worth. The thing is, actually, it's a real problem because the second I move from one to the other, another interesting character comes along. Look, this fellow and his linens just turned up. It had to be the second that I walked away, didn't it? Okay, first police horses of the day are approaching as well. They've just come out of the stables across the road. What's this? No, it's the guy that did the walking channel. It's his real account. That's a real one. The ones that were on Facebook using mine, I think they deleted them all. finally. It's about flipping time. It's just like, what's the point? I don't get it. I mean, it's not even Facebook. What's the point? I really don't understand. Oh, now interestingly enough, guys, the police horses are signalling that they're going to come across, but I'm not sure if they're going to be allowed to come across because the yard is closed. I don't think they've realised that it's closed. They're giving smiles to their colleagues. Put pride flags outside raffles today. Let's go over the top. See. Look, they're like, oh, we can't come in. They wanted to, but they can't. See, and this horse, notice these two walking freely along the street. It's like, hold on a second, what about me? Why do I need to stand here if they're allowed to walk around? Look. I think he said in Horsish, that's not fair. And it's not, guys, if we're honest. He's still watching them. And if I were this horse, I'd just be enjoying the architecture and the weather, because compared to the usual spot, Woolwich, it's a lot more aesthetically pleasurable to be here. Okay, so those corrections, folks, I was talking about. Nothing major, but it is important for me to point out where I've gone wrong and where you lovely viewers have kindly corrected me. Okay, so the rank structure after gunner, Lance Bombardier is the next one. Lance Bombardier has 1 chevron. Okay. After that, we have a bombardier, has 2 chevrons. After that, we have a sergeant, 3 chevrons. In other words, the equivalent of the corporal of horse. Okay. And then we have a staff sergeant above that, 3 chevrons and a crown. God, that's where it gets complicated. As I mentioned before, when we first started walking along, it's not a regiment, the King's Troop, it is a unit. And also, yesterday I was referring to squadrons of gunners coming over. They're not squadrons, they're subsections. God, it's complicated, isn't it? So we need to, instead of worrying about regiments and squadrons, we're now worrying about units and subsections. God knows how I'm going to memorise all this, but I'll do my best. And noted, thank you guys, about the hogged mane. It was hog tied, and it was hogged something. But anyway, hogged manes on the horses. Oh, butterflies fluttering along here as well. The other correction, and it's an interesting one, this, because a few times last year I saw the King's Troop doing prep in the yard, the yard, on the parade ground at Wellington Barracks. That was why I assumed that they were based at Wellington Barracks and would be travelling the long Birdcage Walk, either them via Whitehall, as it did yesterday, or via horseguardsparade. However, I should have realised, how could they be based at Wellington Barracks when, to the best of my knowledge, there's no stabling at Wellington Barracks? So thank you to the viewer who pointed out, hey John, they're actually based at Hyde Park. They come over from Hyde Park. So in other words, the King's Troop will follow exactly the same route from Hyde Park Barracks in the mornings over here as the HCAV regiments and the horses. Makes sense. So I'm wondering actually why there was so much prep on the parade ground on those days last year at Wellington. Like, why they would not have done that prep on the parade ground at Hyde Park Barracks? But then I could be confusing prep for last year's Trooping the Colour with prep for being Kingsguard. So we'll put that down to a faux pas on my part. But anyway, yes, Hyde Park Barracks in Knightsbridge, which of course has a stabling. It's interesting actually, because I don't know yet. I will try and find out, just out of curiosity, personal curiosity, whether or not the King's Troop horses are stabled with the lifeguard horses, many of whom are there, or the Blues and Royals horses on the second floor. Yeah, I've got no idea, because it will be an interesting one, solely because obviously the horses all know each other in the Blues and the lifeguards, and of course they know a lot of horses in the other regiments. But to me it will be interesting, or it would be interesting, to know or to see how the HCAV, these massive HCAV horses, react to these very different and much, much smaller and obviously different smelling, different everything horses from the King's Troop. So yeah, those are the corrections, folks. So even if nothing else works out today, at least I've clarified those points. So I'll try and remember the thing about units and subsections. I mean, gosh, it's a curious thing, because I just wonder why they don't sort of have, I don't know, generic terminology across the army, as opposed to, I don't know, so many variants between different regiments and the rest of it. It's super complicated. For me as a layman, it took me about 6 months just to get the, you know, trooper, lance corporal of horse, corporal of horse, lieutenant captain major rank structure right. Yes, it's complicated. I guess it's not complicated if you're in or have been in the military and you've lived it, but as a 100% civvy that has no exposure at all to military life prior to starting to film it here, yeah, it's not so straightforward. Okay, people are finally starting to wake up and leave their hotels. I'm actually happy for the horses, guys, to be honest. It doesn't help us when it's not packed, but it's great that these horses have got another 40 minutes being completely left alone, unpestered, without paws all over them. I see that as being something of a plus. Lovely colours, actually, people are wearing there as well. One of you actually referred to a King's Troop as the bumblebees yesterday in the comments. I like that, it's funny. I'd never heard that before, but strictly speaking, they do look like bumblebees, don't they? A little teeny bit. Bumblebee themed uniform. Damn, she's got a lot of clothes on in this weather. I'm thinking that a lot of tourists don't realise actually that they are allowed to go close, because there are a lot of people here and they're taking pictures and everything from behind the bollards. So you notice there's always one or two that will walk along, but not very many at all. These lazy tourists, I mean.
I think we go one by one.
Yeah, I mean they are actually, aren't they? One by one.
Look at their shoes, like being polished.
Yeah, a lot cleaner. Yesterday, wait, actually no, it's Busker's video. Yesterday, the one in this box slipped. The horse slipped and fell onto its knees. We thought that the lady gunner was going to go straight over the front of the horse, but amazing enough, she stayed on. Yeah, it just sort of slipped.
Put it in the big hole. There's every chance to go.
This is the problem. Yeah, it is the problem. If that horse tries to move forward,
You know, when
it could trip itself up. I don't know. It's a good question. Possibly. I don't know. Maybe drainage.
Stand there like this, you know. It's flat, maybe the slip.
Actually, yeah, thinking about that would make more sense, wouldn't it? Because there is at least some grip.
But some of them, they're too much.
Especially these teeny weeny horses. Because the big HCAV horses stand kind of like half outside the box, half in the box, but these tiny horses are almost entirely in the box all the time, all four hooves.
What are they called these horses?
Bays. Bays, yeah. Cute and small. I mean, the one that was in this box yesterday was tiny. It was like a kid-sized horse. This is why last year all the tourists were grabbing the reins all the time, because you know, if you go up for a picture, you're pretty much at the same height as the horse's head, so it's easy to just touch the rein.
All of them bays? They're called bays?
All, yeah, they're all called bays. They're all pretty much exactly like this one. Very similar colour.
How many weeks are here?
How many?
Weeks you are here?
Only two.
Only two?
Only two. But yesterday Colin told me that they're here for 2 weeks now, but they're coming back for Christmas for another 2 weeks. Now, that'll be interesting because...
Right,
yeah, it looks like it, because I've never seen them in their winter clothes.
Last year they were here longer than 2 weeks.
4 weeks last year, which I thought it was going to be this year. Yeah, so the fact they split it to 2-2, I think that's great actually.
So it means that those horses, they went on holiday. They only have 2 week break.
It sounds like it. Some people were saying to me that they're not even going on holiday this summer. So I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah, could be that. Could well be, yeah. Damn. Say again? I was really thinking that guy on the phone was going to walk into the horse.
You know, since school started in like years ago.
Yeah, of course. It's been popularised by the people that started filming, yeah. And then, yeah, obviously other people turn up and latch on massively. I know. I think that problem actually is only going to get a lot worse as time goes on. I don't think it's going to get better. Eventually it'll get to a point where there are too many people and either they're going to ban everyone or they will say to new people arriving, look, you know...
No, I'm talking about tourist-wise.
Tourist-wise, I mean... It certainly helps, yeah. I personally, I've said this before, I think they should charge people to go in the yard. I think if they said to everybody that wants to go in, family can go in for £5, individuals can go in for £2, they would make, I mean, you know how much money they would make.
And then they'll bring some extra from inside.
Massively, yeah. Make a lot of money, be great because there'll be less people bothering the guard all the time in the yard. Everyone wins. It's just, I don't understand why they wouldn't do it. But hey, maybe they will at some point. And I think, I've also said this before, you're not going to like this, but I mentioned when I was at Hyde Park Barracks, I think that they should issue licenses, so maybe 5 or 10 licenses to people to film here, or say, I don't know, 5,000 a year, something like that. And then serious people that are actually interested in this will pay it, get the license, and then no one else is allowed to film. Good for us, good for the content, good for the troopers. What do we think, viewers, about my idea? Okay, 5k might be a bit high, but at the end of the day, and you know, money shouldn't be a limiting factor. You know, you shouldn't be able to film here only if you can afford the license, but it should be more, how to say it, more in favour of people that have been there the longest, is what I'm trying to say. And it is, yep. What's the problem?
If they issue the license, you can go inside and film, but once you are here, they probably won't allow it.
Yeah, it is a difficult one. Yeah, yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, that's what you call proper care. You're shooting reference quality material. Here we are, folks. Has he got a license? No. Why? Because we haven't got licenses either. License is not required yet. But what do we think, guys, about my idea, licensing idea? That would keep the yard very busy still. It would also keep out every single idiot that comes along to try and make some kind of controversial, provocative, TikTok-y type video, I think, because they wouldn't cough up the cash to go in. Plus, I think if they did that, it would also be a great thing because they could insist that all payments have to be made contactlessly to enter, which means they've also got a record from the payment history of every single person that enters the yard and at what time they enter the yard. I'm not seeing any downsides to my little suggestion, guys. But if you can all think of, say again? If you can think of any improvements to what I've just suggested, then shoot people, because I honestly do think that would be sensible. I really do. I think 10 licenses issued annually, costs to be determined by the MOD. All of the proceeds go into the HCAV Museum or to some sort of, fund for troopers and their families, something along those lines. In other words, that the money goes, to good causes. Because it seems to me this is an absolute gold mine that's not currently being mined, for the good of service personnel. Who knows? Perhaps if they make enough, they might even start giving Gurkhas the same pension and wage salary benefits as other soldiers in the British Army. Yeah, I think there'll be a tipping point where there are just too many people filming it. At that point, either everyone will get banned or they'll start licensing. And again, look, everyone's sort of standing back, watching. However, I think that will change. That was the Frenchies, actually, it's the Frenchy group, as usual. Like, which way is it to Calais? C'est bon.
J'en ai pris genre 500. Wesh. Révolution. Oh, sorry. Ça fait de me faire le moto, il est en train de filmer.
At least they're polite enough to say sorry to the other people that are filming when they walked into the video. It's ironic actually, because once the march starts, parade rather starts, and everybody flows along here, at that point it's going to be absolutely flipping packed. But that's also the point at which the horses are going to be taken off, so kind of counterproductive, I guess. This is like a UFC title fight. It's like promo material. I was like, yes. I like the way this horse's ears move. They seem to move at hyper speed, look, compared to the age gav horses. Now he's listening to the conversation. Yeah, there you are. Yes, you are. This trooper, see again, this gunner has the same problem as me, folks. But I pity her, because whilst I'm right in the sunshine, I've got a sun hat. Lucky me. She, however, has got a full woolen uniform and that furry, almost Russian imperial-looking hat. Yeah, she's very red-faced and very, very hot, and she's in the shade. Yeah, that's a difficult thing for sure. I don't think we're actually going to get any tourists today, guys. I really don't. It could be the quietest, most serene Saturday morning we've ever experienced here at Horseguards. I guess it's just as well timed at this stuff that I tend to narrate in my footage. Well, you'll be thinking, hold on a second, somebody stole John's camera, dropped it on the street, and it's just recording with no speech. I don't actually ever remember a morning, weekday or weekend, when I've been at the front and it's been this long between people coming up to the horse. Really, really unusual. Even when they do, they're super far away. A lot of you that were in London wish you'd actually be able to get up and come here this morning. You would have got perfect pictures with this beauty without anyone else interrupting it. But you missed it. By the time you're watching this video, it'll be too late. Strolling by and not stopping. But if I go back a little bit further, oh. I think, in fact I'm reasonably certain, that the family of this gun have just turned up. Looking at the smiles we get for the trooper, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's a family. Guessing from her facial expression, your mum.
Yes.
Are your mum?
My niece.
Okay, proud parents.
Her sister.
She's got the best looking horse actually, to be honest, out of all of them so far.
Popcorn.
What's the horse?
Popcorn.
Popcorn.
Popcorn, yeah.
Really? The horse is called Popcorn? Wait, well, hold on, it's in the name of this horse it's Popcorn.
This is what's called popcorn. It's called popcorn, this one.
Okay, that's a really unusual name actually.
Yeah, well there was some
Popcorn.
normally one called burrito, but this is popcorn.
Burrito. Wow. Popcorn. Okay, I mean that is probably, I know the names of most of the HCAV horses, but that is the most unusual name I think I've ever heard.
There's one called Mushroom, they have some good ones.
Really? Mushroom?
Yeah.
Do the gunners themselves choose the names?
I don't know.
Yeah?
I'll ask her.
She's got the good end though. That box is much hotter, so she's got the good the cool box.
Smile, Lou, but you can't smile. You have to keep a straight face. Not allowed to smile.
At least they're getting left alone this morning. Normally on Saturdays, so many people are mauling the horses, being a pain. So it's good that she's got a quiet morning. Oh, here it is.
Yeah, you're right way.
It's okay. I'm her dad. Love it. Brilliant. That is so sweet, honestly. Hey? The tourists are even clapping behind us. Brilliant. Love it. 1 second. Guys, that, her dad and everything else is going to be in today's video. So you can watch it later if you want. See, I run a YouTube channel that films her a lot. So you guys will be in today's video on this channel.
He's doing a YouTube channel. Watch it later on. If
You'll be in it with your daughter.
Have a look.
I don't know if you've seen this one before.
Have a look at that, and we can look at it later.
Are you on London City Walk?
Yeah, YouTube channel.
Let me just take a photo of that now.
We'll have a look at that later.
Plus, yesterday's video was all of them arriving on the first morning, so she would have been there when they arrived, because they came along Whitehall yesterday.
Yeah.
Because the back was closed, so yeah, yesterday's video, your daughter would have been in it as well.
Marvellous.
So no, that was really sweet. I can't believe she didn't start super smiling.
And she wakes up, we've got one for her as well.
Ah, okay, wow. So you really thought ahead, guys. Nice one.
She have to wake up now. It's 8 times.
They didn't know I had told them.
Wow, brilliant.
They didn't know I'd done it, Dad. I hadn't told them.
She had no idea.
Neither did these.
Oh, really?
That's the first time I've seen it.
Nicely planned, guys. Honestly, really.
I saw it on a TikTok ages ago. A woman stood there talking at this moment. I thought, coming down, I'm going to do.
It's a bit of a tradition here, to be honest. It doesn't happen that often, but most of the time, when it's the HCAV troopers, they do end up, breaking their stern face and smiling. So she did great not to lose her composure with all of her family here. Yeah, just a smoke. She's lovely. Well, you timed it well as well. Did you know she was going to be the first on today?
We should tell us when she was on.
Ah, yeah, because she's got another 25 minutes.
She was just off the
She was
train.
supposed to go 2 to 3, but she didn't know that it was the last to know. They didn't know it was the Pride Parade.
It's a big move.
Ah,
moved
yes.
forward, 'cause this
Okay,
is
that
the
makes
last
sense.
one. There is another one at 11 till 12, but if it gets too busy and the parade's going past, they said they probably have to pull them out.
Yeah, the parade is actually going to end over on that street over there. They blew up the finishing line thing over there, ready to put it up. So yeah, it will definitely get pulled. So this will probably actually be her first and maybe last shift of the day. So
Yeah.
lucky for her, right?
I think she said they're going to stop it for the rest of the day,
Yeah. What time did you guys get up this morning to come down from Yorkshire on the train?
5.
Bloody hell!
7 train.
Oh,
For the day,
yeah.
to see our Laura.
7:30 train home.
That's a long day ahead, isn't it?
Yeah.
But at least you chose the absolute best weather-wise. I mean, tomorrow it's going to start raining again. This is great, man.
It's thrashing it down at home.
Yeah, I bet it is. Yeah. Does this feel like a bit of a holiday?
Yeah.
Very compared
It's a
to...
week long. I feel a bit overdressed now.
Yeah.
It was 10 degrees and raining when we left home.
Yeah, but you knew if you'd come down like this, it would have started raining and it would have been cold.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, Alexa didn't do me wrong. She kept me right. She said it was going to be warm. He said, oh no, it's going to be 18 and cold.
I mean, you definitely chose...
I asked Alexa, so I went by
What else are you planning to see today? You've got a long day ahead. What else was on your...
We haven't got that far yet.
No?
see where we
So
go.
just-
See where
just
it
where we
takes
end up,
us.
yeah.
This is the main stop.
You chose it just right. If it had been an hour, hour and a half from now, if they were still out, there'd be so many people here, you guys wouldn't even be able to get near to hold it up properly. And the tourists just push in front of each other. They're so rude and impolite, you know, a lot of the time.
St James's Park from here. Yeah, St James's Park.
The quickest way to get there is if you go along past Downing Street, just after Downing Street on the right is Kingcharles Street. That will cut straight down directly into St James's Park. Yeah, so Downing Street and then Kingcharles Street on the right. Oh, yeah, I mean, you've got to drop in on the drop in at the palace.
Yeah.
Absolutely, for a cup of tea, you know.
Yeah.
No invitation.
I mean, to be honest, we're all paying for it in some way, aren't we? So
Yes.
it would only be fair to drop in for some tea anyway.
Yeah, now we're going to go and have some lunch in St James's Park. That's why my rucksack's heavy, I can't wait to eat it all.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, we've got
Rucksack
some.
full of food
Get
for
lighter
lunch.
as the day goes on.
Okay, good move, smart. Oh, folks, I don't like it when guys bend over like this in front of me. Pride has not begun yet, my dear fellow. Okay, it's starting to get busier now. This gunner did magnificently, in fact. She smiled, she smoked, she did not burst out laughing, which is great, because some of the blues, they were not able to keep a super straight face. Oh, this lady over here. Okay, another crazy period starts.
I watch a lot of these things on Facebook. The horses grab hold of their coats and ride them out.
Personally, I think it serves them right. You know, if the tourists are going to get close enough to be bitten or have a piece of clothing taken from them, tough.
We have horses ourselves, so we know what they're like.
Yeah, very unpredictable. But I think a lot of these people are from countries where they haven't been outside a major city. They've never seen a horse.
That's right, yeah.
Arrive here and they're like, wow, look at this, thinking it's a dog or a cat.
No, they're very strong. Very back, can't outbite. We've been riding, that's my eldest dog.
Ah,
We've both been riding since we were babies.
think you're joining the King's Troop as well later?
Yeah.
No? You don't like the early mornings? Ah, okay. Priorities. Okay, so the tourist fashion parade, guys, I think is just beginning. We've got 20 to 11.
How long she got to the
Yeah.
Especially when the sun's blazing.
Yeah, that box over that end is much hotter, so that's why she's keeping the horse way back. Your daughter got lucky by getting this end this morning. This is the better end of the two.
Shade a bit.
It's usually 2 hours on 2 hours off. When it's not to do it tomorrow. They do very well to stand, don't they?
Couple of meltdowns yesterday. One of the horse that was in that end yesterday actually tripped and fell onto its knees.
Really?
Amazing enough, a lot of us thought the girl was going to go over the front, but she managed to stay on and got the horse back up again. It was an extraordinary thing to see.
This is full surface, isn't it? It's
Yeah, these slippery cobbles, especially when the sun's melting all the mess on the floor. Horses don't slip often, but yeah, sometimes, especially those big H-calf horses. A couple of times we've actually seen them fall on the floor. It's not a nice thing to see. That, ladies and gents, is one happy gunner. Massive respect and thanks to the lovely family who are here to my left. Real pleasure to talk to them. I'm going to finish up so I can continue talking to them. It's not fair to include everything we talk about in today's video. They did know I was recording. That was not done kind of, you know, without them knowing. I mentioned I was in the middle of the video, as you heard. But I will be back, guys, very soon. I hope you enjoyed that. That was, despite the fact it's quieter than usual, that was a joy. And as usual, we met some lovely people, Aussie tourists, and the Gunners family. So for me, for now, I'm out of here. Back soon, folks.